Well, I am also a homeopath, which is a form of alternative medicine which about 500 million people around the world use. It's very popular in India and actually in Europe. And I am a trained homeopath, which took 4 or 5 years. I've been a homeopath for 20 years. So it's a system of alternative medicine. The only thing I do is, with homeopathy, you're treating the whole person, and it works if you find the right remedy. There's maybe 1,000, more than 1,000 remedies, and a good 100 that are used quite routinely. The Samuel Hahnemann, who started homeopathy, said it's important that the homeopath be unprejudiced, an unprejudiced observer. So in other words, you be a blank slate, you just listen. And I sometimes, when I have a cured case, and I know what the substance is that is curative, well then I sometimes show the horoscope to students, and well, it's great fun. So you know what I mean? I'd like to have an opportunity to say something about that, because we're trying to get people, this is the first time. I've just done an 18-week webinar course with Nodor, and I'm doing a weekend with the same group next weekend, but that's the first time you've had homeopathy in mainland China. So, and the Nodor are supporting me in we're going to put on more courses. So we need to get out there, because most people in China have never even heard of homeopathy.
Yeah.
Well, yes, I mean, homeopathy is used throughout the world, and in differing ways. In the UK at the moment, it's less popular because nobody understands how it could possibly work. So it's a little bit like astrology. Nobody understands how astrology could possibly work. So it's not doing so well in the UK, although the royal family use it, and people like David Beckham, and lots of people you will have heard of. But it's more popular in other parts of Europe. In Germany, every chemist sells homeopathic remedies, for example. Well, homeopathy is a system of alternative medicine that, as I say, looks at the whole person, rather like traditional Chinese medicine does. And the difference is that we treat like with like. So, for example, if you cut an onion up, you start crying. So you may have a condition, it may be hay fever, chronic rhinitis, I think you might call it. You may have where you have a similar symptom of your eyes running. If it's very, very similar, it's very, very similar to what happens when you cut your onion, then that remedy, which is known as allium cepa, the onion, is the curative remedy. You treat like with like, but you don't give a crude onion. What happened is the onion is made into liquid, and it's diluted and diluted and diluted and diluted and shaken in a particular way, so much so that there's not a molecule of the substance left in this remedy called allium cepa. But nevertheless, if it's a match of similarity, it is curative, or it certainly can be. So, and that's partly why it's having problems in the UK, because they say, well, you can't, the substance is not measurable, there's not an atom there. In fact, quantum physics is now being able to find, is actually being able to find the substance in there. I think we'll probably find that both astrology and homeopathy will find its rightful home, if it ever does, with the help of the most modern physics, the most modern science. Anyway, the other thing about homeopathy, it's very cheap. It's a very cheap form of medicine. And I think that might eventually be another reason why it appeals to people in China. When they see it work, you have to have an experience of it working. But already at Nodor with the students, they're only just learning first aid, but already they've had some success. And that's creating quite a bit of excitement. In one case, you know, somebody's gone to various hospitals and and just taking just a remedy has helped hugely. I'm not saying it's going to be a complete cure, but it's helped hugely, and that's generating great excitement. And also, one of the publishers here, well, actually my publisher, they are going to publish, or they're hoping to publish some homeopathy books. So I think it's going to take off here in China. I don't know a huge amount about Chinese medicine, but before I trained as a homeopath, I knew I wanted to learn some system of alternative medicine. And I actually started training in traditional Chinese medicine. Well, I started on the acupuncture route. But it wasn't quite for me. I had problems doing it. So I don't know a huge amount, but I know a little. Well, I think Chinese medicine shares more with homeopaths than sort of Western medicine does with either, because you're looking at the whole person, and because, well, I don't know whether traditional Chinese medicine thinks that, but from our point of view, the body has the capacity to heal itself, and you're just facilitating that process.